Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the GWE-100. It's the Tier 10 German SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of mines, and it's under the command of the Bassman from Hell. Yes, he's in action again, this time in an Arty. Don't often see him in an Arty, actually, although he used to play Arty all the time. But now he's actually playing tanks and having a lot of success with them. But is he going to knock the tree over? Yes, he is. I think he's actually making more cover just to ensure that he doesn't get hit. Okay, he's ready to go. Now, the enemy has already got into the castle grounds, but we've got an M41, rouse out. Now we haven't got an M41, he's back in the garage, scratching his head, wondering, how the hell did I get hit by the Arty so quickly? Yeah, not a good place to go, that side of the hill. You're much better off on the other side, actually. So, yes, unfortunate for him, but fortunate for Bassman. Okay, who's next? Well, it's a 21 centimeter Mauser, or Morser cannon, I should say. Capable of 900 alpha, 53mm pen, a direct hit, M60, 428 non-penetrating round. Now it's capable of, it's got a burst radius of 11.4 meters, stun duration of 12.5 to 31 seconds, and it's actually, as I said, capable of 53mm of pen. So even heavy tanks would have to worry if he hits them in the rear. That guy's tracks were knocked off, and he's almost loaded, and it looks like he's going to try and hit the EBR. Unfortunately, the EBR lost from sight, so instead he's going to try and hit the Object 430. Rounds out. It hit the wall behind him. You can see he's actually moving forward to hug the rock to avoid counter battery. The enemy Arty in this game is an Object 261, so I would not be surprised if he tried at least one counter battery in the game. Okay, he's ready to go, but his end was backed up. You shouldn't try to put your back end against the rock, because if you do, chances are it's going to decrease the range of your Arty, not increase, and that might mean you might miss. Now he's actually aiming for the EBR for a moment there, and now the 430 is popped up again. Actually, going to that edge area there is not a good idea, because that happens. You see, Bassman knows that if the enemy pulls back from that little spot, he actually gets hit. So if you go right up to the edge to try and spot enemy tanks still down in the south, you actually make yourself known to all of the tanks down there, because of course there's normally somebody spotting, and in this case it's the 50 TP, he's proximity spotting from the bottom of the hill, and so he could spot him, and then Bassman could aim at him and hit him the moment he pulled back. Rounds out. Well, he fired that round in. I don't think he actually got any damage, but I can't be sure because the enemy tank that was actually on the hill at that moment, the TVP T5051, might have pulled back into the shot. We don't know. So that one was an unknown, but we can see that there are other tanks nearby that he might be able to get hits on, including an IS-32, who's come a little too far forward. And we're loaded. Instead, Bassman's looking for other targets. And he's having a quick look round the hill rather. There's the T-50, and he is missing some hit points, but there's the EBR again. Now he's got to go through that gap. Rounds out. And there's the end of the EBR. So satisfying for an Arty player when he takes out an EBR. It's one of the best hits of the game normally, but you see, that was totally predictable. Bassman knew that the EBR would have to go through that gap, and so the EBR did so, and Bassman just put the shell in his path. So yeah, I think actually, you know, EBR drivers, sometimes they think they're invincible. They're not. I explained to an EBR driver myself a while back, a good couple of years ago, when they first appeared in the game. Oh, TVP, thank you. That's a nice hit. I explained to an EBR driver who was driving furiously at full speed around a battlefield how he's actually fairly easy to hit, because this guy was driving in circles, and of course he was actually showing me where his circles were, and all I had to do was pick a spot on one of those circles, and then I could fire my M53, M55 and take him out of the game with a quick splat. Very satisfying that was. Now, the Object 430's got very low hit points, but notice he's actually sticking close to the rock now, because he knows if he pulls back, he'll get absolutely wiped out. And these two are just coming into the hill, and they don't realise there's already an Arty in residence. Yeah. It's one of the easiest shots to shoot down that little corridor, and if tanks decide to go down there, they can expect fire. It's actually much easier to play it on the other side of the hill, but of course that's not giving you any helpful hints. Yes it is. But don't say that Arty players don't actually do help you. And there you go, the 430 is now out of the game because he got splattered by Splash, and you can see that one of the enemy tanks, I think the IS-32, did fire in this general direction to try and get a hit, but he completely missed. But Bassman's not going to miss out on an opportunity to put a round into that IS-32 the first opportunity he gets. In fact, you can see he's pushing the wreck forward of the 430 to try and provide himself with a bit of extra armor. Of course, it's not really going to work if an artillery round hits him, because it's going to splash him either way. He's very low on hit points. Here we go. Rounds out. There you go. 363 hit points he's lost, all because he tried to push a piece of armor into place. And of course they knew exactly where he was because they proximity spotted him. Well, the team are 2 down at the moment, and the enemy does have control of the hill, but they're in a fairly precarious position because they are going to lose tanks if Bassman gets another hit. Rounds out. Yep, there you go. Another kill. That's 4 kills now for the Bassman. He's just eradicating them one by one. Now, the enemy has sent a Caliban round to try and dislodge the Type 57 and the 50 TP from the bottom of the hill, but I'm afraid Bassman's going to have something to say about the Caliban, and he's almost loaded. So, say goodnight, Mr. Caliban. This is going to be a hit. Rounds out. Okay, 343. Direct hit right in the side. Didn't penetrate him. It did hit the tracks area, so obviously a lot of that explosion was drawn away by the tracks. Spaced armor. The Caliban, well, the Caliban's still around, but the Baraska's now tried to get into it. And he's now up near the cap area. And he's coming for us, I think. Or at least I think he's trying to come for us. Yeah, and we're sort of like indicating to our teammates, can you deal with the problem for us? We've got this nice little piece of shrubbery to provide cover. We've now proximity spotted the Barask. He knows exactly where we are. And of course, the enemy R team knows exactly where we are now as well. And they will be trying to hit us, more than likely. There's the Barask. Rounds out. He's lost 379 from that one. He should have come in to deal with us, but instead he decided to go elsewhere, and now he's paid for it. We're still 1 down on the enemy, but things have started to look better, and now we're ahead of the enemy. 1 tank ahead, and there's that Barask. He's still there. We've got 2 rounds of HE left, and I'm pretty sure the Bassman is going to pile that round into that gap. Rounds out, kills him, stone dead. That is 5 kills for the Bassman. And the enemy Arty still hasn't tried to take him out. Okay, so it's a TVP T5051 and an Object 261 on the enemy team. As far as we can tell, the TVP is up on top of the hill. It would be nice if we could get the Top Gun from getting that kill. Let's see. Bassman setting himself up if he can get it right. Oh, enemy Arty spotted. Lines him up. Rounds out. Long flight time. Unfortunately, he didn't get the shell behind the rock. The TVP's been spotted on top of the hill. If he'd gone for the TVP, I think for certain he would have killed him. But instead it goes to the Vipera. Now hopefully his team will recognize that Bassman is on a Top Gun, and he really would like to get that Top Gun. Oh yes, he'll accept 5 kills if necessary, but he'd rather like 6. So we're about to fire. Rounds out. Oh, and unfortunately the shell hits the rock. The 261's still there. He gets hit by the Leopard 1. He tries a shotgun and the Leopard puts him down. Oh dear. No Top Gun, but at least he had a go. It really is funny when a really good artillery player actually can get those shots on the enemy on the hill. They think they're invincible, but they're not. The Bassman and all the others, yeah, once they get the hang of it, and once they actually dial in on those guys on the hill, they really don't stand a chance. They are doomed. So that was a first-class tanker for the Bassman from Hell in the GWE-100. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually ended up with 5, one short of getting a Top Gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. He also picked up a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12. And his win rate in the game was 3,582, which is Super Unicum standard. The sad thing is, I think if he'd gone for the TVP, he would have got a direct hit on the guy, because the guy was hiding round the back, and our guys who were trying to get into the castle grounds couldn't see him. He was using the ridgeline to fire at them as they tried to come forward. And at that point, he was in perfect sight of Bassman, but he wanted to go for the enemy Arty instead. And unfortunately, that enemy Arty was very good at hiding. So it didn't happen. It didn't come off. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, the highest damage in the game went to the Leopard, who got the final kill of the game. He picked up a high caliber and a tank sniper from that one. 5,456 hit points of damage. Second highest damage in the game actually went to the EBR-105 on the enemy team, one of the tanks that Bassman took out. 3,378 went to him. And the third highest damage, well, that was Bassman. 3,157 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, Bassman got it. 5 kills for him. 4 kills for the Leopard, 3 kills for the EBR-105 in the Caliban on the enemy team, and the Vipera on our team. He also got a Spartan. And when it came to base XP, he's actually in 4th place, Bassman. The Vipera managed 965. 976 went to, sorry, it's 985 there. 976 went to the Leopard 1. 883 went to the 50 TP in 3rd place. And Bassman just behind with 834. He fired only 16 rounds. Well, you only get 30 rounds of ammunition in this game, in the GWE-100. But yes, so you have plenty of ammunition left at the end. 7 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but 19 splashes. And one of those was, in fact, the IS-32, who obviously thought that he was invincible as well, because he pushed the wreck up. And as I said at the time, all you're doing is you're making yourself well known to everyone by doing that, and an easy target the moment you make a mistake and pull back. He did that, and the Bassman killed him. 3,157 hit points of damage, of which 2,646 were up more than 300 meters. So you see, there was some close range shooting. In fact, it was the Barask who took 2 hits from the Bassman, and yeah, 2 big hits, and that took him out the game. 9 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 were killed, 405 hit points of damage assist, 433 hit points of stun assist of 14 stuns. So most of the first class that he managed to get was actually from actual damage. He also earned, on a premium count, a loss of 1,548 credits where it was tier 10, and he did have to pay for consumables at full price. And he got 30 bonds out of it, because 5 of that was for tier 10, 25 for mission achievement, and 2,502 experience points altogether. So welcome back to playing Arty, Bassman. I'm pretty sure that he will go back to playing tanks again, because he does like them. In fact, he loves playing light tanks as well, funnily enough, which is kind of sadistic considering he also is an expert at Arty play. But because, of course, his job as a light tank is to find the Arties and try and kill them if he can. But yes, he is a good Arty player. As you saw in that game, he had the chance to get the top gun, missed out on it, but at least he had a major contribution to the game and he had a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And please remember, we're trying to get as much donations for a GoFundMe for Edwin E20 of Awesome Epic Guys. We're trying to earn him enough so that he can pay off the debt on his house, so he can still keep producing videos for the Awesome Epic Guys and streaming on Twitch TV. And anything you can send, even a couple of quid, it is very gratefully accepted. And we're sending the revenue from the channel to try and help him because, of course, you know, we've been donating all our revenue to the Ukrainian appeals. But obviously, Edwin's one of us. He's one of the content creators. He's one of the players. And so we're trying to help him to keep his house. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.